Yeah, Serial Experiments Lain. What an experience. Personally, I'm not too big on psychological anime, mostly because I'm always left with more questions than I started off with, and then those questions never get answered. Neon Genesis. But Serial Experiments Lain hits different because the environment and landscape that the characters exist in is eerily similar to today's world, with, the internet. It was kind of funny to scour the internet for other people's thoughts on the series, with everyone going, "Oh, this series was so confusing," and "Oh, I didn't understand what was going on." Just pop open a quick Wikipedia tab and type in Serial Experiments Lain, and bada bing, bada boom, you know the plot. But even after figuring out what the hell was going on, I still found the series to be very enticing and interesting. One of the reasons I believe the series became and is still so popular is that it aged really well, especially within the context of modern society. It brings up questions and dilemmas regarding the internet that are still relevant today. And considering this is a series about the internet from the 90s and it still holds up in 2021, it says a lot. Because God knows we've had internet movies that came out relatively recently and have already run their course. But, anyways, let's dive into the absolute roller coaster of an anime that is Serial Experiments Lain. The first episode begins with a girl named Chisa who wants to be in an isekai so badly she takes matters into her own hands.
Y'all, I'm with the Suicide Squad. With the Suicide Squad.
We then cut to the main protagonist, Lain, who kind of looks like a recolor of Rei Ayanami.
Gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
She gets on the subway and heads to school.
Number 7. Student watches porn and gets naked.
Lain is completely oblivious to the fact that Chisa isekai'd herself and is also unaware of the email being sent under Chisa's name. Everyone else is distraught by this, but Lain kind of just sits there and is like, okay. It seems like she has trouble focusing in class, and then her fingers turn into vape pens. Listen, I don't know what's happening. It's Serial Experiments Lain. Just go with it. She goes home and then boots up her computer and checks her inbox for Chisa's email. Chisa explains that even though her physical body is dead, her mind/conscious is still alive in the metaverse and that there is a god. We meet Lain's family, which consists of her mom, who does ASMR videos, her sister, who doesn't really do anything in this episode, and her dad, who builds his own PCs. Lain asks her father for a computer upgrade, and her father's like, "You see, Lain, this is why you should build your own PCs. Only a fool like you would buy a pre-built one. While you're here, why don't you rate my setup?"
Yeah!
The next day, while Lain is on the train to school, Mr. Incredible catches the train. She also has this hallucination dream thingy where she kind of just stands around and sees someone get run over by the train? What? On the way home, she passes by Chisa, which obviously raises some questions for Lain.
So where are you?
I'm with the science team.
And then the episode ends. The rest of the series has some more weird things going on, like finding out that Lain is actually not real, some guy being a pedophile, and meeting Mark Zuckerberg, who just so happens to be the god of the metaverse. It's interesting to see what the series has to say about the internet, especially how it functions as the blurred line between fiction and reality. While Serial Experiments Lain portrayed the wired as a more tangible place, it serves as a good allegory of how people today can get sucked out of reality through social media. In a way, Serial Experiments Lain predicted dream stands. For the most part, the series leaves you in the dark for the majority of the episodes. It drops bits and pieces here and there, but it's still a little fuzzy. And, okay, I guess? I'm not a big fan of series that needlessly complicate the story by being stingy with what is explained to the audience. Grr. But, I mean, maybe some people like putting the pieces together themselves. I guess, I don't know. Overall, I like the series, and the message it brings forth is very interesting to think about. But seeing as I'm on break, I don't really want to think about the psychological implications of Serial Experiments Lain. So, bye, and I'll see y'all next year.